Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm a John. Or at least that's what you would call me if I was going to be getting with a prostitute.
What do male prostitutes call their...
They're probably
Janes. Are they Janes?
Janes. I don't know how they identify.
Or would it still be Johns? Because I don't know.
That's to be, yeah. What about a gigolo? Would the girls be Jills?
I'm so glad you said gigolo instead of juggalo this time.
Don't be messing with my juggalos.
So if you haven't been able to tell so far, we're going to be talking about prostitution today. Should it be legal? All that. All that good stuff.
I mean, it is legal in some places.
In 2 counties, I think.
2 counties. Actually, it's legal in the state of Nevada, except for 2 counties.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, Las Vegas. I believe it's Las Vegas County and whatever county Reno is. And Reno.
I know that I know you can't in Las Vegas. It's just outside of Las Vegas or something.
Las Vegas proper. In the county, it is not legal.
Yeah, something.
Now I did hear I did understand that if you do get caught as a John, if you do get caught soliciting a prostitute, that you just get a fine. You don't go I think it's $100 fine. Now the prostitute themselves gets in trouble, but the John themselves only gets like $100.
Oh, that's
fine.
Inside Vegas.
Inside the Vegas, yeah.
But you meant in the place that was legal. I was like, that doesn't sound legal at all.
So I mean, everybody kind of cringes when you start talking about prostitution, but I mean, there was a whole TV show about the Bunny Ranch, right? There's a whole. You never saw the Bunny Ranch?
No.
There's a whole series TV show called the Bunny Ranch because
I don't watch enough TV.
It was years ago, back when you watched more TV, probably. I think it was on HBO or Showtime or one of those. That it basically was a reality TV show based in the Bunny Ranch out in Nevada.
Okay.
So they had people come in and how the whole process worked and all the cameras and stuff. And I mean, I think when people think about prostitution, they think about the nasty alleys in the back of some big urban city and disease and people getting killed and whatever.
Like you're following me around on the weekends.
But in this puritanical world or country, excuse me, we live in, which seems to be the world for most people, but
yeah.
But in our puritanical sense here, everybody thinks, oh, it's so terrible. But what I don't understand is how is that possible? You could go to the bar, meet somebody, and go home and sleep with them for nothing. And people are like, oh, that's probably a bad thing, right? Like, not a bad thing, but some people would probably look down upon that. But you don't go to jail for it.
Sure doesn't sound very Christian.
Fair enough, but it's not illegal, right? You're not going to go to jail for it, but the minute you throw a quarter down and like, thanks, babe, all of a sudden you're a criminal.
Oh.
Quarter. Isn't that what it costs these days?
Who the fuck you taking home, man? Here's 25 cents. You were okay.
It's a good way to get killed, right?
No shit. Well, that's one way to get around it. But like prostitution, if you're smart, I think is legal anywhere.
What do you mean? Is it kind of, you're saying like, I can't scalp tickets, but I'm going to sell you this, die-cast race car for $400 and give you a free ticket with it?
Even above that, because like once it becomes performance art or, pornography is basically prostitution. People are being paid to have sex on camera. So couldn't you just like get a license to make videos and then quote unquote hire people to fuck? And then and
you're filming it so it's art and First Amendment stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's very...
It just seems like like an easy loophole. It's another way that I think that the government is just sticking their face in, and maybe they shouldn't be, for all these things that are illegal because they're immoral, they're whatever.
Yeah, blue laws and stuff.
Yeah, people are doing it anyway. There's prostitutes all over the place.
There are, and that's what, you think about, I hate to bring back up abortion, and again, regardless of your feelings about it, bringing it out of the back alley, so to speak, and putting it in a medical forefront where people can, have it's controlled, it's regulated. Women are taken care of and treated with medical professionalism and not just, some back alley abortion, right? Same thing with prostitution. I mean, you look at Canada, it's been legal in Canada for, I don't even know how long.
It is?
Yeah, it's legal, totally legal in Canada.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Escort services. Yeah, right.
I did not know
Is Canada melting down? Are there unrest in the streets,
They don't know what the difference between ham and bacon is.
But they do know about recretional marijuana. So
they do know about.
So they got legal prostitution. It might as well just be Amsterdam, right? I don't know why it's not, right?
It's getting there, but there's a freedom of speech issue they have up there, so there's that.
Do tell.
They don't have freedom of speech in Canada.
You mean it's not I don't know that that's true.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's not in their constitution?
No.
Really?
If you like say certain things to certain people, you can actually be charged with a crime for that.
Like what? And we kind of took a tangent here, but interesting.
Sorry, a little side note. I saw it watching some Steven Crowder videos where he was talking about transgenderism. And I guess in Canada, if you intentionally misgender someone, then you can be fined for that. And
would that be covered under freedom of speech here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I can call you whatever I want. I can call you lassie. I can call you fuckface.
It's a fair point.
I can call you whatever I want to call you, and I can't get in trouble for that.
Even a racial slur?
Well, yeah.
Good point. I'm not saying that.
I don't go around using racial slurs, but I mean, you can if you want to be that person.
So don't get high and get with a prostitute and call her a he if it's a she. You get screwed up. Okay. Then you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, everything was fine, sir, until you used the wrong.
I don't know her name.
The wrong pronoun. Now you're in trouble.
Just call everybody them. What is it? Them, these, those, and they.
I don't know. I don't want to get into that.
Anyway, but so it's been legal there. It's legal in other countries now. Of course, you have the like probably the worst representation of prostitution being like Thailand, right? Because Thailand. It seems like there's no rules. I don't know. I'm sure the government has rules on, but they don't enforce it.
I don't think anybody cares over there.
Yeah. Then that's extremely sad, right? But hopefully if you legalize something like that here in this country, I mean, yeah, nobody wants their daughter to grow up and be a prostitute. Right. But, it's going to happen in some regards.
The little bit of research I did for this episode, which honestly was like...
So you went down to Sandusky Avenue, hung out for a while, and...
Dude, it was great research. I could pick up so many prostitutes. Although it burns now all the time, not just when I pee, it's a constant burn. No. So I of course, did some recreational things that are not legal in this country. And then I watched a couple YouTube videos because that's where you get it. That's where the knowledge is.
That's where all the news is.
But it was actually sex workers that were in Nevada. Mm-hmm. And it was these two ladies talking about it, how happy they are with it, how the rules work, how they've got it's just basically it's
healthcare,
safe,
everything,
and they get tested every week, and then somebody asked them about taxes, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we pay taxes." She said that she paid $100,000 in taxes last year.
That was her taxes.
That was her taxes.
What was her?
She didn't say, but I know enough about taxes to go, holy fuck, dude, she is rolling in money and dick, but mostly money. I mean, that's a lot of money.
The money don't grow on trees, but it grows in pants for her, I suppose.
Right? That is an insane amount of money.
That is a lot of money.
If you're paying taxes for one calendar year at $100,000, you have made some serious cash.
But with a person like her, it's got to be more than just sex, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone shouldn't say sex is sex, but there's only so much variation you can have here. It's probably something about her personality that people want to be around. Right, who she is as a person on top of her extracurricular performance.
You lost me on top of her.
This is going to be a hard one to get through.
Oh, Jesus. So many puns. It's going to be a hard one to get through. Okay, so you didn't know you did that, did you?
Sorry, I didn't mean to pay my way into that pun.
Oh, boy. And it crashed.
Yeah.
But yeah, she made a good point of, we have professionals in our country for almost... everything that you need. If you're sick, you go to a doctor. What? If you're mentally ill, you go to a psychiatrist. There's all these.
If you're horny,
yeah. So but if you have sexual needs, shouldn't you be able to go get those fulfilled by another adult who's willing to help you for some money?
Well, and the funny thing is, you can do just about everything up until any genital touching. You could hire. Right now, it's legal to hire an escort. Right, to go with you. Yeah, you can hire an escort to go with you on. To go with you to a party or.
When you say escort right away, I think prostitute. I can't help it.
Yeah. And so you can hire an escort. You can go do things like that, and that's totally legal. But as soon as any money is exchanged for any sexual favor, then of course then it becomes illegal. And and living where we live, one of the biggest downfalls of in my opinion illegal prostitution is the human trafficking. It's insane, and this is the human trafficking. Crossroads of the world, of what I understand, definitely for the country, but also for the world.
Like the state that we live in?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
Really?
This region right here.
Really?
Yeah, because of the access to the highways, the borders, the things that we have here.
Oh, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Toledo has. Yeah, anybody knows where Toledo has a really high instance of human trafficking.
You think we could get in there and get some money? Oh wait, no, that's bad though. Never mind.
No, it is terrible, right? All
jokes
aside,
it is really terrible.
It's one thing if you choose to do that. It's slavery. It's modern day slavery. It's exactly what that is. and a terrible slavery at that, right? I mean, not that any slavery is better than anything, but here you're, not asking somebody to go bust rocks in China somewhere. You're actually,
Sorry, I know that wasn't supposed to be a
no, it was not a pun.
But when you said bust rocks, I kind of lost it. I'm sorry.
And I don't know a whole lot about it, thankfully, because obviously I'm not in that realm of things, and nor have I ever frequented any establishments in Vegas or Canada for that matter.
I didn't know it was legal.
Yeah, not something that appeals to me personally.
When we used to take trips to Canada for gambling for the weekend, I had a buddy of mine who I obviously won't name on here, but he would always go to the massage parlor, and he'd always get his happy ending. And I just, I believed him that he was doing it, but I just always thought it was like he knew of one that was, you know what I mean? That
you could repute? Yeah,
that you could do that at, and kind of on the down low or whatever. I had no idea it was just legal until just now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in Vegas. I missed that part. Sorry.
No, we were in Canada.
Oh, in Canada.
Yeah. No, he would go to this place. Every trip, we would probably go 2-3 times a year. Every trip we'd go up, we'd all be getting settled in the hotel room or wherever. Maybe we hit the casino, and he'd be like, "I'll be back in a couple hours. I'm going to get my rubbing tub."
Couple hours?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I don't know.
Hell of a back rub.
He kept saying, "Hey, you want to come down? You want to go to the rub tug with me?" And I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm good." Plus, I thought it was illegal, so I'm like, "I'm not gonna." That's all I need is to get busted on, in another country for something. For fuck's sake, to deal with that nonsense.
I heard a story from a friend of a friend, and I'm not sure it's true, but kind of a funny side note. He had needed to go massage therapist. Somebody got a gift certificate for an Asian parlor here in the States, and he went. Everything was fine, rolled over, and they started kind of touching inappropriately, and he's like, "Oh, hey, wait, no." And supposedly the lady's like, "Oh, if you want something more, that's going to be more money." He's like, "No, I don't want any of this." I just thought I was coming here to get a massage. And he got up out of there. He's like, "I'm out."
But how come you can massage somebody's calf and not their cock?
And they have a lot of rules about it, right?
I'm sure,
because you have to go in front of. There's a board association that you have to get approved from and all that to be a licensed massage therapist. And there are a lot of rules on what you can and can't do. Even certain states, actually, it's a little worse. I believe in Missouri, last I heard, that you can't be fully nude and be massaged by a person of the opposite sex. So, yeah, right? So, I don't know.
So weird. I've never even had a massage. So
not professionally. I've not either. But, people love them. People pay a ton of money for it.
I hear they're supposed to be good or something. Yeah. I don't like being touched enough to have people. I'm not going to pay some stranger to paw over me.
What if it's not a stranger? What if you know them? And it just happens to be their career, right? And
I've known a couple. Yeah. And I can handle a quick shoulder massage or something.
Yeah. Or my leg hurts or something. I got a cramp. Somebody massage your calf.
To go and have the full deal done. Mm-hmm. That would drive me insane.
So I might be a wuss. I've had it done once and I hated it. During the moment, the whole deep tissue thing, I thought it was excruciatingly horrible.
Yeah.
But the next day I felt much better, right? Huh. But the process of it I did not care for, and I boggle my mind. It boggles my mind. Some of the people that I know, it's like, oh, it's so fantastic. I loved it. I was and melting underneath it. I'm like, oh no, I'm sitting there going, God, get your freaking fingers out of that.
Well, maybe that hurts like maybe that's because it was your first time doing it and you were so knotted up. Maybe the second, third, and fourth time you're already loosened up and it wouldn't hurt as much. I don't know.
That's possible. And I realized that watching a professional do it, having it done to me, realize how unprofessional I am at it. You always try to somebody's shoulders hurt, you rub their shoulders, and how much you don't really know about.
I just punch him in the back of the
neck. But you're right. Bring up a valid point. Here you are, not sexually, obviously, touching somebody for a therapeutic reason. And I don't see why that can't be a therapeutic reason, right? Back in, early 1900s, it was thought that women had hysteria. Have you ever heard about this?
Yeah.
Right. Hysterionics, right?
Yeah.
So they would go to the doctor.
Poor women.
I know, right? They got a bad shake. But they could go to the doctor and they would get basically, masturbated by the doctor to relieve their hysterionics. And then the doctor got tired of his arm got tired, so he developed a machine to do it for him. So and here is your modern day vibrator from that process, right? Yeah. The leaps between there. So here you're going to a medical professional, and if that's what they could be, as long as they're licensed, board, and regulated, why not? Why?
Yeah, back in the day, they were also like, "Oh, you have a headache? Here's some cocaine."
And it works.
I'm just saying we missed out. We missed out is what I'm saying.
The problem with that is, now you have made it illegal, and you took a $100 $100 product and turn it into $1,000 product. You inflated the value of it because of how you get it, and now you have people behind. It's a bad drug, but if it was legal,
What about cocaine or prostitution? I was confused.
Cocaine.
Okay.
Which I don't know anything about, actually. I mean, just hearsay for me, but still.
For me?
And I said, I said hearsay for me.
Oh,
wow.
I said hearsay from you. I was like, well, the cocaine nowadays is junk compared to what it used to be.
Well, it's because it's all
so
cut,
I've heard
stomped on and everything,
from
right?
Hearsay from, yes, it's
right.
because it's insane.
Not what it is. Not what it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, with all things, right? As soon as if it was regulated, no, you could go and have someone test it, and like you're not going to fear of going to prison or whatever. And again, I don't advocate for it. I don't think it's a great thing, but I mean,
clearly you've never done it.
No. Well, yeah, that's not a great thing for you. How about that?
It's definitely not good for you.
Now you look at this country as, oh man, we don't want to do these things because they're bad, but yet give me the triple shot of espresso and the caffeine mega pill and every other thing, and it's like, oh, that's fine because it just doesn't have a reputation.
It's
yet.
weird where the line gets drawn.
It is.
Like, what's
I guess I was sitting here drinking a coffee here today. Give me a little pick me up, a Red Bull. I mean, holy crap!
Drug. It's still a drug. Yeah,
it's a drug like any other. But here we're talking about a natural human process. Sex or even just the want to belong to somebody, and have that intimacy.
Yeah, that was something I saw in the video too, where like the one chick, I can't remember the video I watched, the names. I'd like to give them credit because it was a very informative video. It was like 15 minutes, but I was like, holy shit, not at all what I thought it was going to be. But she said that a lot of her services are like,
girlfriend experiences.
Yeah, where they like go out on a date, and sometimes there's sex, sometimes there isn't, but just weird cuddling.
Why is that weird though? People just want physical.
It just struck me as weird. I don't know.
I mean, imagine you're a business person that has a career that you travel all the time. I hate to pick on truck drivers. Okay, there's a lot of over-road truck drivers. They're out 6-7 weeks at a time, don't get to see family. They're living in a truck. They don't really have, other than other truck drivers and the guy at the fuel island and the customer. I'm just saying, no real, human contact. And it gets damn lonely, not just on the sexual front, but
just in general.
In general, right? And you're not necessarily looking for the run-of-the-mill, hey, how you doing? How's the weather kind of interaction. You're looking for something a little bit, at least seemingly more deep, right?
I mean, I get that. I get it now. I never thought of it that way before. I didn't think anybody would be like calling a prostitute to cuddle.
Right.
It never struck me as something that was even a thing. So I said, I learned a lot just from the few minutes of the video. And
I mean, there's a lot of data that states that, having those type of personal interactions is good for your mental health, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Being able to connect with another human being. There's cortisol levels, all this stuff, lowers the stress. There's, you talk about medical marijuana, there's so many medical reasons why this shouldn't be illegal either. Regulate it. I'm against regulations for the most part, right? I know I'm talking on both sides. But in this case, it's probably because the consequences are pretty dire, with the spread of disease and pregnancy and things like that, and abuse and
I was gonna say safety is probably a big one too.
Because if it's legal, then it's a lot easier to suss out the illegal stuff, right? And you can even take tax or revenue from that line of work or the licenses you have to do it in order to attack the other side of things. The people who are abusing people and putting them in. Get rid of pimps. You get rid of that stuff. You get rid of all the not all of, but a lot of the manipulation, so on and so forth. Right. You legitimize the damn business and take it off the streets.
Yeah.
Save some people.
But I think that's what would happen.
I think so too.
And man, I forget.
But in some ways,
I had a weekend. I can't remember where I read or saw this at, but I remember seeing that there was just as many male prostitutes as there are female prostitutes.
Interesting.
Which I did not know, and I don't know if it's factual or not. It's just something that came up when I was, checking this stuff out. But I was like, wow, whenever anybody thinks of prostitute, I don't know if women think the same way as most guys do. But when you hear prostitute, well, when it comes to this though, when you hear prostitute, I think woman.
Yeah.
I wonder if women are like, when you hear prostitute, if they think
man
women or if they think something different.
I don't know. One of the things that does come to mind is, I get a lot of crap for saying this, and I've said it as a younger guy. I don't necessarily believe it today, but
hate mail.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hate mail on this one. But when you think about prostitution, if you break it down logically, what is it? It's an exchange of some monetary money for a service, right? Sex.
Okay,
and
that's not a bad thing.
So when you get married and the man buys a woman a ring and spends thousands of dollars for that, spends all this money to propose, you're basically saying, hey, can I be your partner for ever, so to speak. So isn't that in a way legal prostitution? I know that's tough. And again, I'm stretching it. I'm making it kind of lay on top of a topic, but
I don't think that works. No.
Yeah. Okay. So get her a 25-cent Jolly Rancher ring out of the thing and see if you get laid anymore.
There are people that I know that don't even have wedding rings that get married.
Yeah.
That have like, they're just like, no, we're just going to, go to the courthouse, whatever. And
okay. So not every scenario.
Then there's the idea of, why is the government involved in marriage at all? What's it have to do with them?
Well, to encourage people to get married, get tax breaks, so they'll have kids to make more taxpayers.
To make more taxpayers.
Isn't that what it is?
Oh, I didn't realize the government was that Catholic until just now. Procreate and grow our masses.
And I'm going to go on a sidebar, but I just read an article, which I don't know what to think of yet, was about the heartbeat bill here in Toledo, in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
And
that piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, supposedly, and again, I don't know which side of the fence I'm on, but some state representative wanted to put an article in the law that said that African American women would be excluded, that they could have an abortion up to 20 weeks, and they wouldn't be considered under the heartbeat bill.
Why?
Not entirely sure. Something to go look at, but that kind of, I'm like...
And it was, so I know who to not vote for next time? I'll have to look that one up. That's fucking stupid.
Now, so... Man, that could be a whole podcast on itself, but
right?
My brain went in two sides, like, they're trying to at least give somebody a chance to not be screwed under this law. But then again, like, wait a minute, why are you segregating out a certain, demographic for that?
Certain race?
Yeah, race. I mean, because you can, like you can check that box and because it's something identifiable. I don't know why. I didn't know what to think about it. Like, was it, golden intentions with poorly thought out?
It can't be. How could that be the best intentions at that point?
So, and not to pick on the sides, but I do remember it was a Democrat senator for the state of Ohio that proposed that. And it just happened to come up on Snopes. It was actually something Snopes was like, hey, fact check, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this can't be real. That's a terrible headline. And it says, yeah, it's true. And here it is. And here's the person who proposed it. Yeah,
it wasn't for like some... political, hey, look at me, it's like a publicity stunt thing. Hey, drawing attention to maybe this heartbeat bill and how stupid it is. I don't know. You
may be correct. That's where I don't know. My mind kept going back and forth going.
That's still a terrible way to go about it, no matter what.
There seems like there's a more appropriate way to get it done. I don't disagree with you one bit. It's weird, but so that brings it back up, when you're talking about prostitution, there's, when you're having sex for money, there's obviously an opportunity for unintended pregnancies.
Mm-hmm.
So, the laws would have to probably match to work with those workers as well. I mean, are you going to force a worker to carry a term
in case an accident happens?
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say this, but if you get a nail in the foot at work, they don't leave the nail in, right? they take it out. And it's terrible, but maybe that's not the right way to put it.
No, that's a perfect analogy.
But I mean, you're at work.
The more awful they are, the more I like them. That's great.
But you're at work. It's a job. So it's a byproduct of your profession.
The next pregnant person I see, I'll be like, you got a nail in your gut.
I mean, if you get, broleosis from working somewhere, they're going to treat you and not just going to let you die because you got it at work, right? So I know human life is different, but again,
debatable. We've had that debate.
Have you ever watched Westworld?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Westworld.
I haven't seen season 2.
Massive amounts of prostitution in Westworld.
Is there?
Season 2, by the way, is garbage so far.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's garbage.
Oh.
I'm in the second episode and I thought maybe somebody put, angel dust in my drink while I was watching it because I didn't understand what the hell was going on.
That was me.
Yeah, I wish it was that cool, but it's not. Is angel dust still a thing?
I don't think so.
Know. I did actually read an article about somebody high on angel dust in Florida somewhere.
PCP? Oh,
PCP.
Florida. Of course, in Florida.
Yeah, you make fun of Florida, but guess who lives in Florida?
Lots of people.
Mostly Ohioans, Michigan, and Indiana people.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's all Midwest people that got tired of the snow.
Why the headlines down there are so great. I love it.
For sure. But so, you tax it, you regulate it again. I'm against general regulations, but I think in order to take it off the street, if that's what you have to give up to manage it and make sure that people are taken care of.
And I think it's the same as any other profession that's right. Almost every, there's minimum wage, there's taxes, there's OSHA, everything for safety concerns.
Yeah, right.
So you're not really regulating it to the point of it being
impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just making sure people are safe and they're doing it. And again, it's something that's going to happen anyway. It's like the stupid war on drugs. It's like this, all these other stupid laws where they're like, oh, it's illegal. I better not do it anymore.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. People are always going to do what they want to do.
I mean, should we legalize everything then? People are going to kill people. Should we legalize that too?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I know, but that's that slippery slope argument that, if it's going to happen anyway, then it is a bad argument. If everything's going to happen, so just, decriminalize it.
There are punishments enough out there to keep people from murdering other people. Like, oh, I don't want to go to, prison for life or, whatever.
Again, that's not what keeps me from, yes, it's not what keeps me from killing people, and I doubt.
It isn't?
No.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, the consequence in our society is not what keeps me from doing that.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay then.
We'll move on. But
this podcast may come back up in some court transcript somewhere.
But there's still, our society is set up to run a certain way, I guess, but people are going to do what they want to do for the most part, especially if it's not hurting anyone else. And that's the biggest thing.
So how do you define if it's hurting anybody else? Because some people, at least, like the alt-right, I shouldn't say the alt-right, the far right would say, okay, you're destroying the home because, you're allowing this to happen outside the home.
Why don't they just keep their faces in their own home and ignore what the fuck else everybody else is doing?
Because when you live in a society, it matters what everybody else is doing.
No, not in their own homes. That's the same argument that they would use to say, well, these two gay people, they can't have sex in their home together. Leave them alone.
In their home, okay. You're saying literally within the boundaries of your house.
Well, then set up your dwelling. Not like they're having prostitutional sex in that religious person's driveway.
Well,
and
pay extra for it, maybe.
But if you want to have people come to your house and you're a prostitute,
come to your house,
then who cares? Who gives a shit?
Listen, I'm against it. Okay, I don't
think you should. What?
Prostitution. I think it's terrible.
You're a liar.
No, I really am against it in the form that it's unfortunate that there exists anyone in this society that feels they either need to be a prostitute or needs to visit a prostitute. It's unfortunate. Not that it's bad, but it's just unfortunate. It would be nice if that's not the world we live in, but unfortunately we have hormones and chemicals in our body that, make us do certain things and desire certain things. Should we always give in to those desires? Do we lead? Yes. If it feels good, do it. Is that Jay's motto?
Almost, man.
I mean, almost. But it goes back, we have, laissez-faire kind of attitude about, oh yeah, it's fine. It should be done that way. But you bring it back to, would you want, your daughter, mother to be a prostitute? Is that a societal, and is your opinion on that, is that a societal issue? Like, is it you dealing with society, or you really don't want that person to do that because you have a moral objection to it or a physical objection to it? Why? Why do you object?
It's just what you want for your loved ones on your own.
Why wouldn't you want that job?
What's that?
If it's just a job like anyone else, and that's kind of what we're portraying here, like a doctor, a nurse that's providing a service.
Sure.
Why wouldn't you want your offspring or close relative to?
Well, because it's also not a normal job, and I think we know that.
Isn't it though? It's like the longest, it's the
world's oldest profession.
Oldest profession.
Yeah,
so,
but you still,
and it happens, everybody does it. Well, hopefully.
It's just like saying, there is nothing wrong with being a mail carrier, nothing wrong with being a garbage man, nothing wrong with working at McDonald's your whole life, but you want better for your loved ones.
That woman made over $10 million probably, right? But is it all,
it's all about money now, everything?
Okay, why wouldn't you want your kid to be a garbage man or a? I'm
not saying I would. I'm just saying I want again, the
what's
best
better?
for them.
What is the best? But $10 million. Okay,
whatever
so where are you
gauging?
Okay, so making other people happy in this way makes them happy.
No. No. I mean, not in my personal case. No.
I'm saying if your offspring or close relative, somebody close to you, chose that, and you had an opportunity to persuade them otherwise. You're telling me that you would.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why, if your argument's for it, and then it should be like any other career.
Well, but if they chose it, I also wouldn't never speak to them again and write them out.
I didn't say that. Yeah. But why would you not
the same reason I talk about working at McDonald's for the life, because I want better for them.
Okay.
Why is that hard to understand?
Define better. Money?
No, I guess better.
Yeah.
I think everybody listening knows it.
No.
You're trying to get down to this weird spot.
I'm really truly asking, what is better? How are you going to define success? Because that is part of the problem. We're saying that it should be legal, but even in your eyes, you see it as kind of either degrading or less than profession than other ones.
It's the same argument for a porn star.
Again, nothing wrong with it.
No, it's completely legal.
Not about being legal. There shouldn't be anything morally objectifiable about it.
But you want your loved ones to, I guess, you want better for them than that. I would look at porn star or prostitute as the McDonald's, and I want them to maybe a nurse or a doctor, just because it seems like it's a better life.
A better life, okay. See, this is where the argument kind of gets.
This is where you can tell you don't have kids.
I don't. I mean, I have a mother. How would I feel? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I have the same moral feeling about it. Not moral, but whatever feeling it is. Like, oh, hey, yeah, everybody should be able to do it if they want to. But would I really want anybody that I know, love, or care about doing it? Ooh, no, I wouldn't want that for them, right? But that's kind of shitty of me, right? Because it's if the premise is it's no worse or no different than any other job.
No, you're still letting.
And again, McDonald's and a prostitute is two different things.
Yeah, whenever I hear of people joining the military, I'm like, no, why the fuck are you doing that? That's awful. I like people who are in the military, but I think if you join, especially now,
they're still getting fucked, right?
You're kind of dumb. So like, like I've had nieces and nephews that I've been like, hey, we're in the military, and I'm like, no, don't fucking do that. That's stupid. Don't go fight some war for these idiots, But that doesn't mean that I think that being in the military is awful. I would just want better for them. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with the military. I just want better for them than that.
That better is a tough one.
It's
undefinable.
It's the word better. I don't want them to do that. I think that they could do something else that would be better for them.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what I'm trying to get. How is being a nurse, providing a nurse service to somebody better? No, strike that. How is being a psychiatrist or a psychologist, either one, better than being a female escort that's legal, regulated, tested?
How is it better than working at McDonald's?
Well, pay.
Okay.
Right? I'm sure they're probably healthcare is much better. What more do you... And satisfaction, job satisfaction.
Nobody wants their children to get fucked by everybody who wants to fuck them.
Why?
That's just a thing, dude. This is where you don't have kids. I don't think you would understand the argument at all behind this.
But why? I get it, but why?
You want to see your mother get fucked by everybody?
Watch it? No.
But if she does it, you're fine with that.
I mean, so we sell our bodies to our works anyway,
asking.
right?
You're not answering.
I am. I'm going to answer in a roundabout way. I mean, we sell
You're trying to pin me down to a direct answer.
I'm not even pinning you. It's just that I agree with you. I have the same problem. I wouldn't want it either. Yeah. And I don't know what it is either. I'm trying to see if you do.
No.
I don't know what it is. Like if I'm saying it's not morally objectable, it should be fine. Everybody shut the hell up. It's not a big deal. But oh no, I don't want anybody I know to do it. That's kind of fucking hypocritical if I ask myself. And I am. And it is hypocritical. It's extremely hypocritical.
But so what?
What do you mean, so what? But why is it hypocritical? Why can we be so open about, saying it should be this way, but not in my backyard, basically? I mean, that's the concept, right?
Because there is a stigma to it.
Okay, I think you're right. That is it. Now, if we as a society could erase that stigma and look at...
Never gonna. Not around here.
You're always so negative. I'm just saying, hypothetically...
Too many churches.
Hypothetically, if we could change as a society... and that job becomes not morally objectifiable, we don't have a puritanical, objection to it, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Would that then change your opinion of, is that job a good job or a bad job?
That's almost impossible to answer. You have no idea. How,
I think it would change.
Because it's embedded in your head how it is now. You can't...
Because we think of sex as something dirty and something...
just like it's different here than it is in Europe.
Right.
Sex is looked at way differently in Europe than it is
right.
here.
If you were to say, I'm a sex worker in Europe, they'd be like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you say like, oh, tell me more.
Again, it's that stigma that's attached to it.
If everybody hates sex in this country so much, how come we spend billions, and I said billions with a capital B on porn? In Los Angeles alone, there's one county that's known for all the high production porn. Literally in that one county, it's a $1 billion industry.
One county.
One county. One flipping county, $1 billion. And you know how much free porn you can get online, and they're still making money off of it.
Well, how do they make money anymore?
I don't have an answer for that.
It's got to be like ads on websites or something.
Probably ads on. Well, they sell a lot of videos, and
they do.
Yeah, kind of.
Are there still porn stores?
Yes,
really.
There's a ton of them in my neighborhood.
Really?
Oh yeah, tons of them. And I always kind of think it was weird too, but. When talking with somebody, it's like, oh, they don't want it on their computer because they don't want a record. People are ashamed of all this stuff. They don't want people to know, so they have physical things that they can lock away in a safe somewhere. So you laugh, but
I didn't.
There's somebody that was like, hey, I have a safe. If we die, throw the safe away.
Wow, no, I'm opening that thing right away.
And like, okay, well, but you have that kind of stuff, and you don't want people to know about it. Just we are so uptight, and again, probably me included in some way, about sex, for Pete's sakes. You even say the word, and even we're making that video, and like, oh, we're going to talk about sex, and I think I might even get a little red in the face, like, oh, we're going to put this out on, and here we're saying the word sex, and oh, Lord,
the funniest thing about what you just said was you just said Pete's sake.
Did I?
Did.
Pete's sake?
For Pete's sake.
Oh, it is
Who
Easter.
the fuck is Pete?
St. Pete.
Yeah, we are recording this on Easter.
That's right.
What a good day to record such a thing.
Why? It's not morally objectifiable.
Wow, there's something about zombie Jesus today. We got to be cool about something. I'm wearing my Jesus shirt, dude. Come on. I'm celebrating. Y'all need Jesus.
Y'all need Jesus.
My only objection with this shirt is I wish it said y'all motherfuckers need Jesus. I might have to alter this at some point.
I thought it was a construction t-shirt.
Construction t-shirt.
Yeah. I thought you were advertising.
Advertising what?
For Jesus's construction. Y'all need Jesus.
Y'all need Jesus. Oh my goodness.
That would be a funny t-shirt, though.
That would be a funny t-shirt.
Jesus construction. Y'all need Jesus. Yeah,
if I knew how to do construction, I would change my name to Jesus. Just for the meme.
So, and that was not free.
Oh, everything's fine.
It's all good. It's all good.
Nothing happened.
Now, if you were visiting a prostitute, you wouldn't be shaking so much and having so many problems.
No, maybe shaking more.
So, you got to address, you have to address the medical component. You have to regulate it and make sure that, it's safe. And, are you going to keep records, right? Like,
I think they do.
Would you? That's the scary part, because you have people who maybe don't want people to know that they're using these things.
Well, wouldn't they be private records?
Is anything private anymore? I mean, it's all obtainable in some form or another.
I suppose.
It can be subpoenaed if you're, maybe if you're, get a divorce and the wife says, hey, he's been visiting a illegal brothel and so on and so forth.
But it's a legal brothel. It shouldn't have anything to do with you haven't committed a crime.
But you committed adultery, and adultery in some states is a crime.
Isn't a Bible thing too?
Well, I mean, a lot of our laws come from that book, yes.
Hey, maybe that's the problem. I'm back to that again.
I mean, thou shalt not kill is also in the Bible. Should we just throw that one out too?
No, that one makes sense.
Oh, okay.
That's just one of the few that I'm like, oh, hey, I get that.
Thou shalt not commit adultery makes kind of sense too, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah, but not because it's a law.
Honor thy contracts, basically. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
I mean, that's what it is. Honor your contract. Yeah. And you made a contract with a human being not to go humping around without permission anyway.
Around.
Doing the Humpty dance.
The terms.
Whereas I think it should be legal. It's tough to imagine a society today that allows for it in our country. And again, there's the stigma that's behind it that, would be tough to overcome. And I think over time it could be done.
I think if it became legal, that would
well, just like weed,
a little bit.
Not to jump on weed, but yesterday was 420 day, right? And like 20 years ago, you say 420, 90% of people, well, I shouldn't say that. So 60% of Americans smoke marijuana. So 60% of the people know what the hell you're talking about. Not really.
Yeah.
But yes,
it's much
National
more
Pot Smokers
now.
Day. Yeah. But they actually were having like 420 specials at bars yesterday. Like, and even I think it was Tostitos, the chip manufacturer, tweeted out something basically saying like, hey, it's 420, you're gonna be hungry, you better get your chips and dip. Like, made a Munchies joke about it and referenced 420. Like,
whoever the marketing agent for Funyuns is should be fired immediately.
Why is that?
For letting Tostitos or whatever beat them to it. Like, how do you not bring up the Funyuns?
I hate Funyuns.
Well, get high and eat some Funyuns.
They're terrible.
I hate Funyuns as well, unless I'm high as fuck. Then
if you don't want anybody to talk to you for like 3 days, eat Funyuns.
Really?
Fucking breath you get from them things.
I'm going to buy some Funyuns.
That's why I don't want to use your microphone.
People will leave me the fuck alone.
There's a guy I work with, and he has the biggest bag of Funyuns every time I go and visit their office. It's like, dude, and he's just munching away. That's just disgusting.
Is he high?
No, totally sober.
I don't think I've ever had a Funyun sober, to be honest with you.
It cuts the inside of your mouth, kind of like Captain Crunch leaves that nasty film in your mouth. Why?
Okay.
That's terrible. But I digress. That was a sidebar. Prostitution to Captain Crunch, man.
Prostitution to Funyuns to Captain Crunch. I like it. I like it.
So should it be legal?
Yes, I think it should be legal.
But your family shouldn't do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you own a brothel? Would you employ women and men of the night? Mennonites?
Mennonites.
Sorry, that just came out.
I would not employ Mennonites. They creep me out.
Yeah?
For the Amish.
Gotcha. Is it because they can grow a beard and you can't? Imagine if you were Amish, you can't grow a beard. You'd be screwed. You get married.
They'd be like, community.
Yeah.
I would have been out of that community when they do their little run-up fuck thing. When they turn like certain age.
Rumspringer?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
I'd have built the fuck out at that point.
Yeah.
If not before.
We have to do one on the Amish. I'm curious because I have some other opinions on the Amish than you do, I think.
Yeah. Fucking bunch of tax evading pricks using our roads. Fuck them.
Okay. That's an interesting point.
You know, if you want to hold yourself up and live the way you live, that's great. Just don't be on the roads. Don't, just go away.
So if they paid road tax, you'd be happy with them.
Yeah. I guess
that's your argument?
No, if they had to pay the same tax as everybody else does. If they were treated the same as they're still citizens in this country, but they get an exclusion.
Well, they're sovereign.
Well, that doesn't really work either. If they kill somebody, they're still going to go to prison.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
So anyway, we'll do a whole thing on the Amish.
Yeah, we should.
Fuck the Amish.
They're probably not legal there either.
And churches. And anybody else is not paying their fair share in taxes.
Wow.
I got to pay taxes? Fuck them.
What do you think about no taxes on overtime?
Taxes on overtime?
Yeah. I seen somebody on Reddit said the government should make a law that you shouldn't be paying taxes on overtime.
That's fucking stupid.
Interesting. It would definitely encourage people to work more.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's that, right?
That's what we need. More people.
So you think it should be legal?
People pushing more buttons.
Should be legal, but you wouldn't own a brothel, and you wouldn't.
I didn't say I would own a brothel. I was thinking about it because I'm also a greedy prick. So I probably would own a brothel.
Is that what you would call your brothel?
Greedy prick.
A greedy prick.
Yeah, I would just employ dudes.
I mean, you probably would have plenty of business.
Yep, probably.
Right. So I'm for it on a sociological, yeah, I guess so, on that kind of level. But I struggle with it on the other side. Like there's a ton of logistics that you'd have to work out and make sure that people aren't being harmed. But again, it's just like OSHA or anything else. You're doing a repetitive task at any job. You're selling your body. You're selling your time. You're selling your mind. What's the difference between selling a place that could cut off your finger and potentially getting an STD, right? As long as you're taking the proper safety precautions, hopefully
should be fine.
Should be fine. So just like a nurse working in a hospital, there's a chance they're going to get communicable diseases through blood, through urine, through bodily fluids, air transfer, anything like that. So that component, it's no difference. Exactly.
Yeah,
they take the safety
measures. Yeah.
You do the best you can. And they can say that that's a necessary evil because you have to give medical assistance to people. But
plus, she paid $100,000 in taxes. She made a killing.
Yeah, well,
that's an insane amount of money in taxes.
I'm good for her. Capitalism all the way through it. I have watched a few videos though that some of those people, the mental health status was pretty. Let's just say objectifiably wrong.
In that
skewed.
video, I said they have they have to go they speak to a mental health professional like every so many months or whatever, and have to be cleared.
Yeah.
Like, how you doing? How's your home life? How's it? Like, to make sure that they're okay. And I don't know. They seemed fine.
Well, I think there's just as many anecdotal, stories that would say the opposite,
But I mean, how many people you pull out of a, some fucking shit job where they're, picking up A and putting in B all day into a box, and you send in a mental health professional.
Are you really healthy enough to do this job mentally?
And they're like, you know what? No, 2 more days in this fucking factory, I might freak out. Like,
okay, good. Go back to work. Vacation's next week.
Exactly.
But
here, try some more drugs. Here's some more prescription drugs.
Drink the coffee that's in the break room. Lots of the coffee, please. Right? And I don't mind that little residue in the bottom of that coffee. You'll feel better after you drink it.
So yes to prostitution. Yes, let it be legal.
I'm on the fence. I mean, I think it should, because again, my libertarianism-ness, yes. Ismness. But the logistics of it kind of like, I would be a quagmire.
They pulled off in Nevada. It seemed to be doing just fine.
They pulled out in Nevada. We should just, adopt Canada's social stuff. The older I get, the more social.
Let's just have a purge and have some anarchy.
Is that what it is?
Let's just do that. Fuck it. I'm tired of this boring bullshit.
There's this guy.
Just get it over with.
There's this guy on YouTube. I guess there's like a simulator game thing or whatever that he does, and he sets up different things. Like one of the things he did, he gave every country like hundreds of thousands of nuclear bombs and made everybody in every country have at least $1 million a piece, every person. Okay. And just basically let the simulation run.
Yeah.
And China took over everything, which is what I want to happen. But everybody just was, you can level up or level down the, the hostilities, and he put the hostilities as like the highest maximum they could do. So you had basically unlimited nuclear weapons, and it kept coming on like global warming, the ice caps are melting, everything is going to hell, and people were just like die. But he's like, they want for nothing, literally. Why are you everybody's a millionaire, everybody has tons of money.
Yeah.
Why
are you still fighting?
Then he goes back, well, basically, if everybody has $1 million and really nobody has any money, and so whatever. Like, that's a weird phenomenon, right? But like, let's just make everybody rich. Yeah, economics. Oh, wait, there's more supply than there is demand.
Work.
So there has to be poor.
I mean, with our system, how we have it set up now, almost yes.
Just with in society. I mean, what do you mean how it works now? Instead of like a barter system?
Yeah. I'm saying with how our economic structure is, yes, there has to be poor people. We are like a big giant Amway. We're a big giant pyramid scheme. Yeah.
Well, every corporation is a pyramid.
It's the only way it functions.
When people say scheme, that gives a negative connotation. Scheme is just an organized, situation, right?
I say it in a negative connotation.
Okay, well then is that
like fuck the Fed. The Fed. Oh, the Fed. All money is created out of debt, all that stuff. So
ask Venezuela.
It's yeah.
There's a guy on NPR. He's literally making
the place again.
Well, he's making baskets out of their currency. The currency is worth more weaved into a basket than it is currency. And he's like, if I would have made this in the as a child back in the 90s, I would have been like super rich. But here I am taking it and making it into a basket to sell to tourists for like $2.50.
Because it's worth nothing.
Yes, absolutely worth nothing.
Yeah.
go get you some if you can. Go to Vegas.
More prostitutes.
Yeah, right. But I would not. If it came up for a vote, I would vote for it.
I would vote for it.
So much for an argument there. I mean, I kind of have some sway.
Yeah, we got a little heated there for a second. We tried to get my kids to be prostitutes. I was like, hey, fuck you.
Hey, I think it's an honorable job. We all do it. We just don't get paid for it.
Okay.
Thank God I don't get paid by the hour. I'd be broke.
Nice.
Well, until next time, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jay.
It's been arguably correct.
Go be a prostitute. You can cut it out if you want.